the Teen Talks Kitten podcast, where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 133 of the Teen Talks Game podcast. My name is Vango. I hope you guys are doing very, very well. Before we get started, make sure you follow, share, and like the Teen Talks Game podcast because they tell me to say that, and yes, they tell me to say that because apparently it will make my podcast explode in popularity, which I genuinely doubt. But anywho, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. It has actually gotten cooler where I currently am, so it's not as hot because I feel like the past month I was melting in the sun. It genuinely was not okay. Like you walked outside for 1 second and you were sweating like so much, but it's actually cooled down. It's still hot, but it's actually cooled down a little bit so you don't feel like you're dying and crying every single second you're outside. But yeah, I went back to school this week. Yikes. But you know what? It's fine. It's totally fine. I mean, it's great. I just love school. But I hope you guys are doing very, very, very well. Hope work is going well. If you've gone back to school, I hope that's going well for you. Um, we I wanted to fix the music and I actually did record new intro theme whatever, but now it won't let me upload the files and I hate working with files, and so I'm going to try to figure that out sometime in the next week. But for now you have the really weird metronome buggy music and I'm very sorry. But yeah, let's head over to our program of the week. Okay, program of the week. Program of the week. Okay, for our program of the week this week, cannot talk. I feel like sometimes you just need a fun program in your life. Sometimes you just need a lighthearted program that's cute and fun. And like I feel like I review a lot of like serious, artsy programs on this podcast and I talk about them a lot. And I love those programs, but I also love the fun ones that are just like, let's just do it for fun. And this is a great exhibition gala. This is from Utana Yoshida and Masaya Morita from Japan, their ice dance program at the 2025 World Team Trophy and their gala. I spelled trophy wrong. The music is Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. I don't know who choreographed it, though every other program there is choreographed by the team at the International Ice Academy in Montreal and Ontario. So it's like Scott Moyer, Adrian Diaz. I don't know if it was them who did it, but I assume based on the other thing, but I couldn't find the information. Anyway, this program for Feel It Still Portugal the Man is so fun. It's so poppy, and it's a great program in like hitting the music on the beat, looking at the audience, having fun, smiling. It starts off Utana Yoshida is at the board. She's kind of dancing along a little bit. Masaya Morita is like fake sleeping on a chair with that top hat on his face. And she kind of walks over to him, skates over to him, like wakes him up. He's looking around and I guess they're like falling in love in this like sequence of like crazy fun events. He's kind of chasing after her. It's like it's a vibe. It's so fun. The music is of course really, really poppy, really, really fun. They hit it. And I mean they actually hit it. I feel like they use their fists a lot in this program. They use their fists to kind of beat on the music. They kind of give like playing on drums kind of vibes. It's a great thing. Yeah, but they're having tons and tons of fun doing this program. Tons and tons of fun, just looking everywhere, looking down, looking up. A couple of my favorite moments, especially in the beginning of the program, they of course do that whole fun sequence, but then they do two lifts. One lift is that Masai Morita is kind of standing up and he's just holding her by the leg, and she looks straight at the audience, kind of smiling, look at me being so pretty, this guy's holding me up, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's a fun, like, cute romantic program, I guess. And then they kind of do the same I kind of idea with another straight line lift, but this time my Masaya Morita is kind of squatting and she's standing on his leg, and not squatting, kind of like open leg squat. I don't know, but she's standing up again. Look at me, pointing to the audience, having fun. There's a couple of moments towards the end of the program that are really fun as well. Again, they kind of like have like a step sequence, waltzy moment, holding hands, but then also not afraid to separate and have their own individual personalities in it. There's this bit of nuance as they're doing a bit of crossovers where Masai Morita like brushes his hand through his hair, which is really cute and fun. Yeah, and then the end of the program is really cool. They're kind of skating in a straight line, And then Masai Morita, like he kind of fake trips, and that's really fun. And she kind of looks angry at him. She like admonishes him for that. Then he tries to run back to his chair, which is still in the middle of the ice. She like kicks him off the chair, pushes him off the chair. He like does this wild fall, and she sits on the chair and puts the top hat on her head instead. And that's the end of the program, and it ends right on the beat of the music, which is so fun. But yeah, just a great program. They don't feel like, I don't know, they don't feel so serious. They don't have to do any like twizzle or like choreographic step sequences or anything. They're just having fun in this gala. And that's why I feel like the gala is so, so enjoyable. You get to see a whole new personality of skaters. And this program is so much fun. And the little like playing with the chair and the top hat and the tripping and this theme of like this guy chasing after this girl kind of vibe is like super, super fun. And they do it really, really well with the music on the beat, hand motions, expressions, everything. They're both smiling throughout the whole thing. And I love it. I really do enjoy this gala program. So yeah, go check it out after you listen to this episode. Utani Yoshida, Masai Morita, their 2025 World Team Trophy Gala, Feel It Still by Portugal the Man, choreographed by unknown, but maybe their team at the Ice Academy of Montreal, Ontario. All right, let's head over to our main episode. That was your program of the week. All right, so weird episode because there's actually not enough content to cover the whole episode. So I've made a little bit up. Okay, I've made a little bit up. But as I said last week, this episode is supposed to be a recap of all like the summer competitions that happen, which is really just three competitions, and they're three kind of minor competitions with not a lot of skaters to discuss. And so how we're doing this episode is that half of this episode is the three competitions, and they're really, again, really small competitions that are going to go over pretty fast. And the other half of the episode I'm thinking about doing, or I guess I am planning on doing, because I literally wrote all the notes for it. I am doing a whole like check in on Team USA. How is Team USA doing? Because of course here we support Team USA. And how is Team USA doing after the Olympics, after the last season? Who's retired? Who do we know is not really going to compete? What are the current odds of Team USA? Because of course, heading into the next quad, Team USA wants to still be on top for all the team events, for the World Team Trophy, and of course that all important Olympic team event, which is in 2030, but the road to there starts now. It's the road to French Alps 2030, which is not as fun as saying Milano Cortina or Milano Cortina 2026, but French Alps 2030. That's still cool. That's still cool. All right. But again, three summer competitions that happened over this summer that I do think are kind of minorly important, minorly interesting. Lake Placid Ice Dance International, the Asian Open Trophy in Indonesia, and the Cranberry Cup, Challenger Series Cranberry Cup that happened last weekend in Norwood, Massachusetts, which I believe is just outside of Boston. Okay, Ice Dance, Lake Placid Ice Dance International. I kind of just want to talk about the top three teams here. Of course, as the name implies, this is an ice dance only event. And I mean, the majority of the teams here were from Team USA. So, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the top three. However, in third place is the team of Nesset and Markelov. I think they kind of were expected to do a little better. Of course, again, with all these summer competitions, keep in mind that they are summer competitions. And just because a skater, I say this every year, just because a skater doesn't do so well or a team doesn't do so well in a summer competition does not mean they're kind of like doomed for the whole season. It's really just to test the waters and make sure everything's good in the program, not really to focus on every itty bitty detail. I mean, summer competitions are just for the basic training. They're not like huge Grand Prix or anything, or like worlds or something. Okay, 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 okay. Excuse me. All right. The first team I want to talk about is the third place team of Nessa and Markla from Team USA. If you recall, they were the world junior champions in ice dance in, I think, 2024. And then they did go to a Grand Prix in 2024 as well in that fall season. I am not really sure like how they've been doing since, but they're really in that middle pack of US ice dance, and the top three teams here are all in fact in that kind of middle pack of US ice dance. And it's hard to get in and out of that middle pack of US ice dance. And but yeah, they're a really young team, obviously. They just came up from the junior rings, and in the world of ice dance, it's slow getting yourself up there, slow getting yourself into the hierarchy. But yeah, they were in third place with third in both of the rhythm dance and the free skate or the free dance. In second place is a more experienced team. They've been around for a while. That's the team of Ava Pate and Logan Bai. They were fourth place in the rhythm dance and second place in the free dance here. Again, another team who has really kind of been in the middle of everything. They've had a couple, I think, Grand Prix over the seasons. They've had a couple of appearances at the US Championships, of course. But again, they've kind of been in the middle of it all, and they're a team that is looking to really break through in the US field. I'm really interested in that. Out of all the teams here, they were the highest world ranked, and so that's something to note as well that they are still pretty prominent in the world standings. They're 31st in the world, which is really, really difficult to get to, of course. But yeah, interested in seeing how they go here, being one of the more experienced teams. Okay, and then lastly, in first place here at the Lake Placid Ice Dance International was a team of Amy Kui and Jonathan Rogers, who they are kind of not an unknown team, but a team that hasn't had as much international experience compared to the rest of the teams here. They are 83rd in the world currently, but they did place first in both segments here in the rhythm dance and the free dance for first overall by almost 13, no, 11 points. I cannot do math that quick. 11, what is that? A little less than 11 points over the rest of the field. And so clearly they are, you know, making their way up. I feel like they could have a case for, a Skate America host spot kind of thing. I hope to see them at nationals as well. I know they've been competing for a while, though I don't know their exact kind of statistics. They were 10th at US Nationals, 13th the year before, and they are a relatively new team together. But it's gonna be great to see them develop even more and hopefully get some more international experience as we go along. But starting off their season strong with a first place finish here with a pretty solid score of 176.15 for this team. Amy Kui, Jonathan Rogers. All right, so that was the very, very basic Lake Placid Ice Dance International. I don't really go into the itty bitty scores because I'm just like, oh, I don't really know about ice dance. So yeah, let's head over to the Asian Open Trophy. All right, Asian Open Trophy in Indonesia, which is a really, really cool place for a figure skating competition, especially in the month of July, early August. But the Asian Open Trophy, which I wish was a Challenge Series event because I feel like that would make a lot more people go to it. And I feel like, I don't know, I think there's only how many, there's only one Challenger Series event in Asia and it's new. The Kinoshita Cup or the Kinoshita Trophy in Japan. And so, yeah, all the Challenger Series are really concentrated in Europe. But it'd be fun to have a challenge series, more challenge series in Asia, and this one is a really cool place to have a challenge series competition in Indonesia. But anyway, let's talk about the results. Let's talk about these skaters here. I'm gonna again talk about the top three skaters here at the Asian Open Trophy in both the men and the women's. They don't do pairs and ice dance. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. In third place in the men's event, in third place in the men's event is a skater who is an Olympian. He just became an Olympian in 2026. That is Yuhi Xiang Lee from Taiwan. And he's a really spunky young skater, in my opinion. I don't know what his style reminds me of, but it's kind of spunky, it's kind of fresh, it's kind of young, it's kind of fun to watch. I think he did an Eleanor Rigby program at the Olympics, if I remember correctly, or it was something along those lines, Eleanor Rigby or something like that. But I don't know. Here he was second place in the short program with a fairly clean skate. I think he meant to go for a triple axel instead of a double axel though. That was his only mistake. Maybe. I don't know. Does he have a triple axel yet? I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot. I'm sorry. All right. But then he did place fourth place in the free skate for third place overall. A fairly good program, two double axles. And then under the new rules, he did the two double axles. Interesting. The triple flip, triple loop was under rotated on the second jump, and then under rotated on the triple lutz. Triple toe loop was under rotated, and he went to Euler double sal on that, which is really interesting. But he got both the triple lutz and the triple flip done in the second half of the program, getting those extra points. Really, really great for him. And yeah, a third place overall finish here. Again, a really early competition early in the season. But he's definitely one of those like up and coming, rising younger stars, in my opinion, of this like new junior generation coming up. Him and like Adam Hagara and Jacob Sanchez have all been on the junior level for a bit, and now they're coming up to the senior level. And I'm super excited to see that, obviously. All right, second place overall here is a skater that I don't think I've ever heard of his skating before, but he seems to be someone that just popped up on the international stage. That is Boren Liu of China. He was competing here, placing second overall. A third place finish in the short program with a triple flip, triple toe loop. Did get an unclear edge on that triple flip, but everything else was good with a double axel as well. In the free skate, he was second overall he was second in the free skate for second overall. A fairly clean program, getting a triple lutz, triple toe done really well with a really great Chewy. Triple flip did face a quarter claw and an unclear edge, and a triple lutz in the second half of the program also did get an under rotation on it. He did also perform only two of his jumping passes in the second half, and I'm sure he was wanting to do a third one. Maybe he just timed it kind of wrong. No, I don't think so. I mean, the way he structured his program, it doesn't really make sense with the timing of everything. But, interesting. I'm sure that, he needs to like change his jump layouts under the new system. Again, I'm so used to having 7 jumps in the free skate. I'm like, where's the seventh jump? But no, you only have 6 jumps in the free skate now. All right, and this first place skater, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about because he's one of my favorite skaters, and that is Kazuki Tomono of Japan. This was honestly a pretty good competition for Kazuki Tomono in the first half of or in the summer of the season. I don't think it was that bad. Kazuki Tomono of Japan, I mean, we know, like, we love Kazuki Tomono. He is such a great skater when it comes to the artistry, when it comes to the presentation. He just does, unfortunately, struggle with the jump sometimes. The short program, he did place first here. He got a quad toe, quarter toe, a quad toe, double toe done, negative G on that. I'm sure he wanted to do the quad triple toe. Triple flip faced a fall, unfortunately, but he got a really, really, really good Jui on his triple axel in the second half of the program. I know earlier in the previous seasons, he's been doing the quad toe and the quad sal in the short program. I don't know if he's going to plan on putting that back in. Sometimes it what was that? What was that? Sometimes it wasn't like the cleanest jump in the world, unfortunately, and so maybe that would be a reason why he is not going to do that. The quad sal did unfortunately have some troubles with him in the short program. In the free skate, however, he did land a quad sal cow, zero Chewy, but that's still something. He had a very good free skate here, 169.81. Only mistake was on the quad toe, double toe, the second jumping pass that got negative Chewy, like the one in the short program did, but the triple axel done. His like giant combo here is a triple axel Euler, triple Salchow, double axel, which is tons of points. That earned him 19.03 points, which is absolutely huge. And again, all his elements in terms of the step sequence, in terms of the spins, got high Dewey. Step sequence got a level 3 with 3+5s here out of 5 judges. And that is really, really great. Of course, he is amazing, and we all love Kazuki Tsumono. And it's an early competition. Of course, like the summer competitions don't tell you a lot about a skater. But I am really hoping that this season is the season of Kazuki Tsumono after not being on the Olympic team for 3 cycles every single time. Japanese Skating Federation breaks my heart not putting him on the Olympic team, and it's always like, oh man, like I wish. Sometimes he was so close last season too. But I don't know if he's going to skate until the next Olympics. I don't know if he's going to skate just this season. Whatever it is, I hope Kazuki Kishimoto does a really, really amazing, um, has a really amazing season because clearly he's starting off strong here, getting those quads done, getting those quads in the programs, not popping anything. I think maybe he wanted that triple toe, but regardless of what it is, truly, I am really happy with Kazuki Tomono, and I hope he skates really well this season. I want like podium at Japanese nationals, please, 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 please. Answer my prayers, whoever's listening, the skating gods or whatever. Please answer my prayers and allow Kazuki Tomono a spot on the podium at Japanese nationals. Okay, okay, you heard it, you heard it. All right, that was the men's event, but there was a women's event here at the Asian Open Trophy as well. Same as before, let's talk about the top 3 skaters here. Okay, in third place overall was, let's see, in third place overall was an Australian skater here skating at the senior level, Sienna Karsmzik, if I'm saying that correctly. I remember her from the Youth Olympics back in 2024. Her short program was a pretty solid short program, a very clean short program from her, 53.63 with a triple flip that was clean, triple style, double toe, and a double axel. Very nicely done from her. She was fourth place in the free skate for third overall. Couple errors here, quarter call on the triple lats, under rotated flip, a fall on the loop and the style. Both of those were under rotated, but that's okay. Double loop, unfortunately, in the second half of the program as well. A little bit of struggle with rotating the jumps, getting them done cleanly, but the short program was really, really promising for sure. And so we're hoping that she can get those clean jumps. And I would love to see more Australian skating, and she's definitely gonna be part of that. And I want to see more Australian skaters because I don't know why. I feel like I have like a soft spot for Team Australia. I'm like, yeah, Team Australia. But yeah, all right. In second place overall is a skater from Taiwan, Yu Thing Sai. I love her skating. I remember Yu Thing Sai skating from her junior days, and I thought it was really well done. She had a program to Billie Eilish, and then I think she had another program to Schindler's List, and it was so amazing to see her skate. I feel like she's a really solid movement wise. I feel like her movement makes sense. It fills the space correctly. If that makes sense. Yu Thing Sai here, she did a clean strip program, not going for super difficult elements, triple toe, double toe. I'm sure she's working up. I believe she had a triple lutz before as well. So I'm sure she's working up towards that, but got very positive GE on everything in this short program with a pretty solid score. In the free skate, she had, a pretty good program as well. A couple mistakes here, under rotating the triple loop, the double axle, and then a downgrade on the triple flip. Very gutsy to go for that in the second half of the program, the triple flip, but it was downgraded here, unfortunately, into the double flip level. But regardless of that, she has really good Jui on her choreo sequence, really good Jui everywhere else. So yeah, I hope that she skates more on this year level. Again, another skater. I love skaters that are kind of from small feds. I feel like we all love rooting for skaters who are from smaller countries that don't have as much figure skating. And you think Sai is a really charming skater if you watch her skating from her junior days. I'm sure she's developing even more in her senior days here. All right, last skater to discuss here in first place here at the Asian Open Trophy was Rinka Watanabe from Japan, who is she is a skater. I mean, she is a skater, and I do think Rinka Watanabe has, when she hits, she really hits, and when she doesn't hit, it just doesn't really work out. And this competition, again, it was an early summer competition. Do not fret, do not worry, but Rinka Watanabe is really here, and she is already attempting her triple axel early in this season. She attempted it in the short program, a quarter call on it with a fall, unfortunately, and then the triple lutz, triple toe. That triple toe did get a quarter call as well, but that is a harder combination. She was trying the triple loop, triple toe before, and now she's doing the triple lutz, triple toe. So clearly we're upgrading, and I enjoy Rinka Watanabe skating. I think she's kind of wild. I think she's kind of fun. I think she's kind of unpredictable in a sense. Her free skate not as successful, unfortunately. Really wanted both triple axles. Unfortunately, popped both triple axles into single axles. Triple loop was still very good, and she got a really impressive combo done in the second half of the program. Triple lutz, double axle, Euler, triple Salchow, which is, we're gonna have to get used to that for sure. No falls, though she did downgrade a triple lutz and she did get an unclear edge on the single flip. But otherwise, a really solid skater, a really nice skater. I'm rooting for Rinko Watanabe. I remember her at Skate America last year, and she just had the free skate, I feel like, of her life there. She did really, 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 really well there. And yeah, she has such technical potential, and her jumps, again, when she hits that triple axle, it is a huge triple axle. And I do think she can. I mean, she is one of the top women in Japan. She can compete with some of the top women in Japan if she really, and I mean really, 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 really hits those jumps and lands everything cleanly. She could be one of the best skaters. And she has had moments of like greatness before, like Skate America last year. Japanese nationals have never really been her friend, unfortunately. But I'm rooting for Rinka Watanabe. I think she's a dark horse in every competition. You never know what Rinka Watanabe you're going to get. She's fun, she's wild. Again, that triple axel is huge and so well done when it is really well skated. But yeah, that's your podium for that competition. All right, let's head over to the Challenger Series Cranberry Cup, which honestly is such an outlier in terms of the Challenger Series. The rest of them happen like September through early December-ish, like mid-September to early December. And this competition is like way in early August. So there were not a lot of skaters at this competition. In fact, it was almost like threatened in a sense to not become an official competition or an official challenger series anymore because there's like limits on like everything and it's confusing. All right, we'll talk about the top four skaters here in the men's event, and then who is competing in the women's event. Oh, yes, yes, yes. All right, let's talk about the top four skaters here in the men's event. In fourth place here was Kai Kovar of the United States. I remember him from Junior Worlds, I believe in 2022. I think Ilya Malin was talking about how he thought Kai Kovar was one of the biggest hopes, the next big hope for the US, if I remember correctly, but that was 4 years ago. He's still skating today. Kai Kovar in the strip program, he did a solid triple loop, unfortunate pop on the single axle, and then the triple flip, triple toe. Had a little bit of negative GBE on it, but otherwise still solid. He placed third in the free skate for fourth overall. I think he was trying to go for that quad toe, got a triple toe done, single axle, a triple axle, but it was under rotated into the triple toe, and the rest of the jumps are pretty solid. Triple loop under rotated, but that's okay. And then, again, another crazy combo: triple flip, Euler, triple Salchow, double axle. Like that's crazy to me because I never would have imagined that a skater would be ever allowed to do that. But that's crazy. But yeah, Kai Kovar in fourth place here. In third place here was Mark Goryanitsky of Israel. He was second in the short program with a clean program. It was a really clean program, 80.99, triple axle, triple lutz, triple flip, triple toe, high GOE on all of those jumps. He placed fourth place in the free skate, which was just not as successful. He did not get many points at all for his change foot combinations in level 4. I'm not sure why. And it's a little confusing, but he did too many combos. No, he did the good amount of combos, but he wasn't allowed to do another 3 jump combo. So he did a triple axle Euler double Salchow first, and then later in the program he was not allowed to do the triple lutz, triple toe loop, double axle. Both of those triple toe and the double axle were kind of a waste. And he did get a repetition call on that triple lutz because it like cancels out. So you're not allowed to do 2 3 jump combos. You're allowed to do 1 3 jump combo and 1 2 jump combo. But he did 2 3 jump combos, and under these new rules, that is not allowed. And under the previous rules, that wouldn't have been allowed either. Yeah, under that wouldn't have been allowed either. But yeah, third place for him. Second place here was kind of one of those rising stars in the U.S., a skater who I'm keeping my eye on in the men's field. That is Daniel Marchinov of the USA. I think he had a really good performance back at U.S. Nationals, if I remember correctly, in the short program last season. Here in the short program, he landed the quad toe successfully, triple lutz, triple toe, and triple axle, all well done. A little negative GB on that change camel spin, but all right, all right, all right. All right. He had a really great free skate for second overall here. Quad toe done beautifully. Quad Saka had a fall and a downgrade on it, unfortunately, but the rest of the program went pretty smoothly. Last 2 combos were a little bit difficult to get off, but he still got them done, a little bit negative GOE, and that's it. It's totally fine. And yeah, second place overall for Daniel Martinov. Again, a skater who's been scoring in those 220s, has that potential to get to those 230s. I'm really interested in how it goes with Daniel Martinov. I know he's kind of been as in the junior ranks as well. He's been in the junior ranks here and there. He's kind of been here, kind of been there. And yeah, he was recently, let me see, he was recently 10th overall at US Nationals, I believe. No, 7th overall at US Nationals. So definitely one of those men in that middle field to kind of to keep up, right? To keep up with. All right, the first place skater here was from Estonia, Alexander Solevko, who is controversial right now. Yeah, very controversial. Very controversial. All right, in his short program, he was first place with a negative GUE on his quad toe. The rest of the elements were done really good. They gave him a lot of GUE on that triple axle. And then in the free skate, he was also first overall. Really took a commanding lead. How many points is that over first place? Let's do some math. 25-ish points over for a second place. quadlets, not very negative Dewey. The quad toe Euler triple stack out double axle was a huge combination for him. Triple toe instead of a quad toe, unfortunately. Triple axle didn't get the everything he wanted, and yeah, he wasn't able to do. He wanted to do a second triple axle into the triple toe loop probably, but he didn't get that unfortunately. But the rest of the program went well, and he won this competition. If you want to know why he's controversial, I don't know if I'm allowed to explain it on here, but he is a little controversial. I'm just gonna say, guys, just search it up on Reddit. I'm sorry. All right, that was the men's event. Okay, let's talk the women's event. Let's talk the women's event here at the Cranberry Cup. This women's event, I will talk about top, top. I'll talk about the top three here. All right, in third place was Logan Higase Chen from Team USA. USA. All right, Logan Higase Chen. I remember her competing at U.S. Nationals a few times. She has kind of come up from the junior ranks and now she's going into the senior ranks here. I mean, medaling in a Cranberry Cup and the Challenge Series is really, really great for her career, obviously. In the short program, she did get 2 quarter calls on the triple flip, triple toe combination, but the rest of the program was done well. Layback spin was beautiful. Second place in the free skate for third place overall in this free skate. She did get an under rotation on her triple toe on top of the triple flip, and then the triple lutz, double axle, double toe had a little bit of negative G-wing in it. But the rest of the program was done well. Triple salve, flip, lutz, loop in the second half of the program. Really well done on all 3 of those last jumps. And yeah, I mean, she has a technical side. Looks like she has a technical side getting closer to really being done. I'm excited to see her at U.S. Nationals. She is someone I am, again, kind of keeping my eye out for. Someone who could definitely break into those top women in the U.S. field. And we'll definitely see. All right, in second place here, the first of 2 twins is Yoo Kim of South Korea. In the short program, she was second place overall, landed a triple axel, beautiful triple axel, by the way, a plus 1.76 Jui on that. The Lutz Cho was really good. Unfortunate fall on the triple loop in the second half of the program for Yoo Kim. In the free skate, she was a third place in the free skate. Got a quarter call on the triple axel this time. The rest of the program was okay. The second half, fall and under rotated on the triple lutz, edge call on a downgrade on the triple flip, unfortunately. But she had a triple axel in her arsenal, and both triple axel times. The first one was really good. The second one was pretty close to being there in the free skate, and she can get big jumps. Seems to be on those combos are really big, but those solo jumps, unfortunate in that second half of the program. But someone to watch out for. She just came out from this junior ring. She is someone to watch out for. South Korean women in this next quad, I am telling you, it will be a bloodbath. It will be a bloodbath. It is not going to be okay. It's not going to be okay, people. It's not going to be okay. All right, in first place overall at this competition, we had her twin, Yoo Kim's sister is Yoo Seong Kim, and she also had a triple axel in her short program. She was first in the short program, triple axel. Unfortunate error on her triple flip, double toe combination. Wanted that triple, got some negative Jui as well. And then the triple lutz in the second half of the program was absolutely beautiful from her. She was also first place in the free skate for first place overall, winning her first senior international, I believe, a triple axel with really great Jui, like her sisters in the short program, triple flip, triple toe, a little negative, triple lutz Euler, triple sack out, double axel, got a quarter edge call, or unclear edge on that lutz and quarter on that triple sal, a little negative Jui, and then a full edge call on that triple lutz. So it seems to be that that triple lutz edge is really what's bringing her Jui somewhat down. No, in the short program they marked it clean, so the short program they marked the triple lutz clean. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, edge calls. I feel like the judges are so strict with edge calls on some skaters. Like Sarah Everhart cannot catch a break. I swear. Anywho, all right, guys, or was it? Or it's like her under rotation issues. But yeah, some marks sometimes. But yeah, Yoo Kim wins here. 22 points above the second place finisher, her sister, which is really great for her first senior national competition. Landed some triple axels here, and in the short and the free, and so obviously she's got to be proud of herself for that for sure. All right, now Lenovo, I don't want something, please. Don't make me buy things. I don't want to buy things. All right, so those are the 3 combinations. Like I said, they went by pretty fast. I don't really have anything to really talk about anymore. I mean, I thought that more skaters would be at those competitions, and it could be like more cool. I remember last year at Cranberry Cup, I remember Isabeau being there. In the men's, I remember Roman Sadovsky winning his first title, and then it was also Steven Goglev was there. And I just feel like there were last summer there were a few more competitions to talk about and whatnot. But you know what? That is totally okay. This season can be a little less exciting in the beginning, and that is fine. But those are still topics of interest, as I just mentioned. All right, as promised, the second half of this episode is kind of about the current state of US figure skating. After the Olympics, people retire, people make different plans, people make different reservations, I guess, for other parts of their life. They retire from figure skating or they take a break for figure skating. But here on August 14, 2026, I'm telling you that this is the kind of current state of US figure skating. So we're going to talk about the men. The men is a very interesting case because you have really one main world dominant leader in Ilya Malin. Of course, he is multi-time world champion, won the Grand Prix final. He set the dang world records. He's the only man to have ever landed the quad axel. You heard it all. You heard it all. He does backflips. You know, you've heard it all. And Ilya Malin is really the dominant force for the Team USA in terms of the man. He wins titles left and right. He's been landing quads left and right. Yes, he did have that, elusive Olympic title escape from him with a, less than fortunate free skate in that individual event. Regardless of that, he is still a great skater outside that competition, and he is really going to prove that he is going to be the dominant one in this next squad as well. So I'm super excited to see him develop. I'm super excited to see more of his skating and what he comes up with because he has some interesting programs. All right, kind of the second place US stand for the moment is Andrew Torkashev, who has had some up and down moments throughout his career. Last season, we saw him have a really great skate at US Nationals, made it on the world team. This season, he kind of had the same thing. He had a really great skate at US Nationals and made it on the Olympic team to go to Milano Cortina, Andrew Torgashev. When he gets those quads done and everything, he is really really talented. Maybe doesn't get as high scores as Eli Malin and doesn't have as many quads, as difficult technical capability, but still pretty good. All right, a skater that we don't really know about is Maxim Namov, who also went to the Olympic team. As far as I know, he is kind of out. He's not really skating anymore competitively. I believe he was more into coaching now, and I think he's made a few like media appearances here and there on different survival shows, if I remember correctly. And so, as far as I know, Maxim Namov is not going to continue to skate. At least in this next season, he didn't get any Grand Prix spots or anything. He didn't announce anything, but he said it. I don't know. So he might not be competing anymore. A skater who is supposedly confirmed to be competing, however, is Jason Brown of the USA, who has a Grand Prix spot, two Grand Prix spots, in fact, at Skate America, and I believe at Helsinki Trophy or something like Finlandia Trophy. I mean, Finlandia Trophy in Espoo. But Jason Brown, I mean, the last time we saw Jason Brown skate was 2026 U.S. Nationals in the men's free skate, where it was a nightmare skate of his life, and I didn't want to watch it anymore, and it broke my heart. And absolutely never again watching that free skate. Never again. You got that? Never again. All right. But yeah, Jason Brown was, skating. He has been on the US national podium. He's been to World, he's been to everything. He's been to every little bitty thing. And he didn't make it on the 2026 Olympic team, but he was the first alternate, I believe, or he was the second alternate. He was one of the alternates. He really wanted to make that team. We don't know if this season is it for Jason Brown. We don't know if he's planning to skate until 2040. We don't know where it's going to go. We don't even know if he's actually confirmed to be skating in this next season, or maybe it's just a bit of a rumor. I don't know, guys. He has Grand Prix spots though, and Jason Brown wouldn't. He wouldn't keep that from us. He would tell us, right? He would tell us. Please, I don't want that last national skate to be his last program. I need some positive way to go out from Jason Brown. All right. A youngster, however, is Jacob Sanchez. I'm super excited for Jacob Sanchez in this future in the US. I'm super excited for Jacob Sanchez because he has really kind of proven it. He has been to World Juniors. He's really been dominant on the junior level, one of the top skaters on the junior level, and his escapades, his brief escapes to the senior level have proved very successful. He won a Challenger Series back in 2024 before. He went to U.S. Nationals and placed fourth place. He went to Worlds this past season in 2026, and he placed 10th, I believe, or it was somewhere really close to the top 10, somewhere in there. He doesn't have the quads yet, but he has been fairly consistent on all of his other jumps, all of his other elements. Excuse my neighbors doing their motorcycle, don't know what they're doing. But Jacob Sanchez is someone to watch out for, and he does have a very nice quality in his skating, a very nice stability in his skating, the way he moves around. I do like the way he skates, and I'm very excited to see Jacob Sanchez's career develop more. All right, I want to remind you of some of like the middle pack of US men. These are men who have had their moments, have had great moments, have had okay moments. Some of these men include Liam Kapikis, who I really love, Diana Martinov, as I mentioned earlier, Lucius Kazanecki, who has just come up from the junior level, Patrick Blackwell, who is also coming up from the junior level. Those men tend to score in that 220 to 40-ish range, I would say. That 220 to 240-ish range is like around where they would skate. And so they are constantly trying to get into those top US men, and I'm sure a lot of them could do it. It's gonna be interesting to see who these next few generations of US men are for sure. All right, moving on from the men, let's talk the women's field, which is such a deep field. What the heck, my neighbors? What the heck? In the women's field, I mean, we have some big names. Of course, we have the Olympic champion in Alyssa Liu, who is skating this next season. I mean, I'm so excited to see Alyssa Liu skate after her Olympic title. I'm so excited to see, where it takes her, what more she can do. Can she win some Grand Prix? Can she get on the world podium again? I'm so excited to see Alyssa Liu after that Olympic title. She hasn't skated since, so it's going to be interesting to see. We'll have to see, right? All right, second here we have Amber Glenn. I mean, Amber has been a three-time U.S. national champion, three-time in a row national champion now. She is really the veteran in the field, and she has only gotten better as her career has progressed. Obviously, getting that triple axel, which has become a more and more and more consistent jump for her, is a really big deal. She's been top 10 at Worlds. She was top 10 at the Olympics. She was really, really solid. It's going to be about putting two clean programs together. If you're going to see Amber succeed, that's when she puts two clean programs together, because that has unfortunately been a bit of an issue these past few seasons, is either having a really good short or a really good free, but never both at the same time. And I swear, come on, Amber, we can do it. I love Amber Glenn skiing so much. I'm excited for her in this next season, whether it's her last or maybe she's going for another Olympics. Who knows? All right. Third here, we can't, of course, leave the women's section without discussing the Ice Princess of America, Isabeau Levito. Oh my gosh, my neighbors. Isabel Levito. Isabel Levito is so graceful, so elegant, the prime ballerina of U.S. women's figure skating. She was fourth place at Worlds recently. She was fourth place, I think she was fourth place in 2025 as well. Judges love to call her under rotations and everything, but her skating is so sublime. And in this next quad, if she can somehow fix those issues with rotations, she is one to watch out for sure. Because in most cases, she's pretty consistent on all of her jumps, and she doesn't pop very often. It's really the consistency. All right, big question mark by the name of Brady Tennell. Brady Tennell, we saw her at U.S. Nationals. She was fourth at U.S. Nationals. She had been the 2018 Olympian, the 2018 U.S. National Champion, a couple other accolades, up and down with injury. She reappeared this last season to compete and everything. She actually appeared this season before, but she was in this season competing at everything. Really great performances at U.S. Nationals, fourth place at U.S. Nationals. And we don't know where she's gonna go. She said that she hasn't made an official decision on anything yet, so kind of question mark for her. All right, skater we definitely know is going to compete is Sarah Everhart of Team USA. She was really, 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 she's a really solid skater. She rarely pops again, really, rarely makes huge major mistakes. The judges have become sticklers on her rotations, and I'm not here for it because I love Sarah Everhart. Expressive, fun in her free skate last season to Poor Things, and a really nice, just like classically trained skater in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but she's a classically trained skater in the same way that there's classically trained ballerinas, I feel like, and she's a really great example of that. All right. Star Andrews is one of the top skaters in this past few years. She's now in pairs, so we'll talk about her later. Sophie Jolene von Felton is a junior skater, or was a junior skater. Now she's heading into the senior ranks, and she's someone of note. Sophie Jolene von Felton has landed triple axels, she's landed quad salchows, and she has kind of proven that she can brute force her way to podiums on the junior level. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sophie Jolene von Felton does in this next year level of her career if she's able to maintain those triple axels and that quad salchow, or maybe even add more. Who knows? I'm very excited to see her skate as well. All right, lots of other names: Elise Lynn Gracie, Josephine Lee, Logan Higase Chan, as I mentioned earlier in the U.S. field. Yeah, lots of big names in the U.S. field for the women's. All right, the pairs. The pairs is kind of in a renaissance again. Back in 2022, after those Olympics, a few pairs kind of stepped out, didn't compete after that. Then in 2023, the main pair at the time, the team of Knierim and Frazier, retired, and so now we're kind of a similar kind of renaissance. Ellie Cam, Danny O'Shea are not competing supposedly on the Grand Prix, maybe even not competing at all. Um, Emily Chan and Spencer Howe are apparently not going to be competing as well. So they kind of those top teams in the U.S. Those they are kind of a part of those top two teams in the U.S. are not going to be competing, but still competing are the current U.S. national champions Alisa Efimova, Misha Mitrofanov, who unfortunately faced citizenship issues in reaching the 2030 Olympics or the 2026 Olympics. They couldn't attend the 2026 Olympics, but they are really great skaters and they have won some Grand Prix medals, had the amazing performance at Worlds in 2025, etc. They're a really solid pair, and they are definitely going to be the dominant pair in this next few seasons, this next season for sure. All right, some other teams to consider. Plazas and Fernandez have been around for a while. They are a really solid pair. And some kind of newer, younger-ish pairs. Star Andrews and Danielle Parkman is a brand new pair. Star Andrews, of course, as I mentioned earlier, formerly in singles. Isabella Flores and Luke Wang have had a lot of success on the junior level and now heading into the senior level in everything. And then we have Chelsea Liu and Ryan Beddard as well, who have been competing around for a while. So yeah, very interesting to see those pairs kind of rise up. All right, and then lastly in the U.S. is ice dance. Of course, we just had the team of Madison Chalk and Evan Bates not really retire, but kind of soft retire, if that makes sense. Again, they haven't really said anything. They kind of just said we're moving into a new direction for now, kind of vibes. But not really confirmed official retirement, though a lot of people have kind of like, no, it's official retirement. A lot of people have kind of said that for sure. But even with them out, there's these teams ready to take their spot. In particular, the team of Emilia Zingis, Vadim Kolesnik, kind of rising up. They had a huge achievement. I mean, a huge achievement when they won a bronze medal recently at the 2026 Worlds. It was not expected at all for them to get. Oh, I mean, well, they were in the mix, but I don't think it was the most expected results for sure. It wasn't the most expected result that we thought that Zingas and Kolesnik were going to be able to get a world medal, a world bronze. They were fifth at the Olympics, I believe, in their debut, and everything just seems to be going up and up and up and up last season. And so they're definitely the ones that are the top US team to watch. Another team to watch out for: Christina Carrera, Anthony Ponomarenko. They have kind of been staples of the Team USA in this last squad. They recently went to the Olympics. They've been silver medalists at US Nationals, and they, at a time, were ahead of Zingas Kolesnik, kind of head to head with Zingas Kolesnik. And I'm sure they want to rise up and do even better and get a world medal of their own and everything. All right, the team of Caroline Green, Michael Parsons is one of my favorite teams, and so devastated that they haven't made the Olympics twice because their programs are always unique. They always hit different. They just look so beautiful. They look different. They feel different. They do everything different, and they don't get the right scores. I swear. I know they're like okay. I think they deserve better scores, but Caroline Green, Michael Parsons is a team that is going to be. I think, in my opinion, really going to be one of the dominant teams in the U.S. ice dance. They were fourth at U.S. Nationals and everything, but I think they're really going to be one of the top teams in U.S. ice dance in this next season, in this next quad. I hope they win a few medals. I hope. All right. We also have the team of Emily Brady and Ian Somerville, who a few seasons ago, I believe in 2024, were national medalists. They went to Worlds, unfortunately didn't qualify for the free dance, but they were still there. And that says something that they are there to take the opportunity of some other skaters don't do as well, some other teams don't do as well. They've medaled in the Grand Prix as well. Yeah, Emily Brady, Ian Somerville, a team to watch out for sure. We have the Brown siblings who came out from juniors a couple of seasons ago, have kind of steadily moved up and a little bit up and up and up each season in the senior ranks here. Very good team. Una Brown, Gage Brown, their Godfather program last season was a huge hit, and the judges really enjoyed it for sure. Um, yeah, and it's gonna be interesting how they develop as well because I feel like maybe they're gonna be considered one of the top teams as well, getting some more scores and everything. It's gonna be interesting. And then lastly, we have the teams of Nessun Markula, Pate Bai, Quee Rogers, and I mentioned in the Lake Placid Ice Dance International, kind of part of that middle pack, maybe with Brown, Ian Brady and Somerville. That middle pack of skaters who are all really great, and that makes it so competitive because they're all really, really great. But some of the top teams like Zingas Kolesnik have risen up even higher, and they kind of play this like catch up game, but it's always a mix. And some skaters make a mistake, some teams make a mistake, and it's just like U.S. Ice Dance is crazy. But in this current like power dynamics of U.S. Ice Dance, definitely Zingas Kolesnik on top, Kara Ponomarenko, Green Parsons, and then these teams, Brady Somerville, Brown, Nessa Markle, Pate by Quee Rogers, are in the mix, of something even bigger for sure. But yeah, that's basically it. I kind of wanted to like review Team USA. That's who's competing. That's who you're gonna see at US Nationals and everything. The post Olympics are gonna be a crazy time in general, internationally for Team USA. But it's a great time to be a fan of figure skating. New names are gonna pop up here in the US, internationally, here and there. Maybe some names will retire. So maybe some names will switch disciplines. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's all for this episode of a Teen House Singing Podcast. My name is Van Gogh. I hope you enjoyed me talking and ranting about the three summer competitions that happen, as well as US ice dance and men's and pairs and women's and the current state of all of that. But I will see you next week. For some reason, I want to do a whole episode about the whole Unicam Alina Sotnikova scandal in 2014 in Sochi. But we will see, guys. We will see. But yeah, I will see you next week in next week's episode. Bye bye.